I've been banned from Tinder. Lately, I've been a magnet for crazy people. Here we go. We matched about a month ago, the conversation was good, we went out, and she even came over afterward. At the time, it turned out I wasn't feeling so well, and I didn't keep in touch much, even though I found her interesting. Cut to 2 weeks later, and we talk again. We talk about our first date, I apologize for not keeping in touch much afterward, and she understands. We're on good terms, we call each other for about 3 nights in a row, and we arrange for her to spend the weekend here, which is now over. We've been excited, talking about various things, and excited all week. The plan was for her to arrive on Friday and come back on Sunday. It turned out that Thursday I took some medication that, unexpectedly, completely ruined my sleep. We said good morning, and she said she couldn't be with me on Saturday because she had to meet up with a friend she hadn't seen in a while. That was fine. I mentioned that I'd slept for 2 hours the night before, and she was pretty discouraged, which makes sense. Not discouraged, but a little incredulous? Saying she was excited for the night and that if I wasn't excited, it wouldn't even be worth it. I thought it was a bit disproportionate, so to speak, but I understood her point. Going on a trip and all that wasn't worth it. So I said I was going to take a nap and wake up right before night. She still didn't like it, and it was a weird mood. Then out of the blue in the afternoon, I couldn't even nap, she sent me a private photo playing games, and I, who was discouraged, thinking it had all gone down the drain, immediately cheered up, and we got back to that conversation. However, I made the fatal mistake of saying I hadn't been able to fall asleep. I don't remember if she asked or if I just said it. She immediately became someone else again? She said, "Oh, you really don't want to. I don't even know why I'm still talking to you," and ended with, "Take care." At the time, I didn't understand anything. I knew she wasn't in the mood for conversation, and I was just polite in return. I was shocked. In retrospect, doubting her was actually a relief. She's a bit of an unreasonable person, and I don't want any complications for myself. Then on Saturday, I checked, and she had blocked me on Instagram and WhatsApp. I wasn't upset. I felt I was polite in the situation, I did what I had to do, and I'm at peace. So, this morning, I couldn't sleep again. I thought, wow, it's been ages since I've seen a Tinder notification. I log into the app and I'm fucked lol. I can't access my account anymore, nor can I create any more accounts in the future. I think she shared my profile and made it known to everyone, that's what I thought. I'm starting to wonder if I'm the problem, because another hookup blocked me on Twitter after badmouthing me, after something really ridiculous. I don't know. Fast food worker to high-level business, I feel like an imposter. After high school, I thought my life would follow a simple path, college, career, and then just figuring the rest out as I went. But life had other plans. My dad was diagnosed with cancer, and not long after, my sister was too. I made the decision to drop out of school to help take care of them and support my family. I figured I'd deal with my own future once things stabilize. Thankfully, both of them eventually went into remission, and for that, I'm incredibly grateful. But for me, things haven't been as smooth. We're still drowning in medical debt, and I had tanked my GPA the semester before I left school. When I tried going back, the drive I once had was gone. So I took a step back and returned to working in fast food, trying to figure out whether I really wanted to keep pursuing school and rekindle my GPA or find a different path altogether. Then, out of nowhere, a family member reached out and offered me a life-changing opportunity. A permanent, high-level position at their company with full training from the ground up. It's the kind of role that would normally take years of experience and a degree to even qualify for. And as far as I'm concerned, they offered it to me simply because they know me. It feels surreal. On one hand, I feel incredibly lucky. On the other, I feel conflicted. I've always believed you should earn your place, that building something from the ground up is what defines a person. So part of me feels guilty for taking this shortcut. I'm surrounded by people who are far more qualified for my own position than I will ever be, and I feel like a joke for that. I'm writing this because I don't really know how to process all of it. I'm beyond grateful, but also a little overwhelmed. I've got my first business trip next week, and I can't even afford new clothes for it. That's how quickly things have turned around.
My best male friend cried while declaring his love for me. A quick bit of context. This friend and I kissed a few months ago at a party, in the heat of the moment. We had a fight because I didn't want to move forward with it, but he did. We reconciled, and that was that. I was also having some issues with my ex because we were having a few relapses, and I was feeling guilty about it. My friend knows everything. Now back to yesterday. My car broke down completely out of nowhere. When I went to leave in the morning, it was making a really weird noise, so I left it at the shop and asked for a car to go to work. This friend sent me a stupid video, and while we were talking, I ended up mentioning that my car was in the shop, which is pretty common because I chose it for aesthetics. He offered to pick me up from work, and since it was the end of the month, I wasn't doing so well financially, I accepted. It had also been a while since we'd seen each other. There was a lot of demand, and I don't accept leaving work before finishing everything, so when I left, it was around 4:30 to 5 p.m. He picked me up, and since I hadn't eaten lunch because I was driving in my car, we decided to go to a coffee shop in a nearby mall for a snack. I ordered a giant cookie with a cappuccino, which was really good, by the way. And we chatted until he asked the million-dollar question. So, what happened to your ex? You know when you freeze and just stare at someone? That was my reaction, because I'd seen that movie before, and not just once. I knew where it was going to end. And the conversation afterwards went something like this. It didn't come to anything, right? I'm still an ex, but you want to get back together. No. Are you sure? I do. Yeah, if you didn't dump me every time, you wouldn't be going through this. We'd already had this conversation, so I just didn't say anything. He knew what I was thinking. No way, we'd never work together. He also stopped talking. I thought it was over. But then his face started turning red, he stopped eating, and kept looking down. At the time, I didn't understand what was happening. Was he embarrassed? Then he started talking in a tearful voice about how he didn't understand why I thought that way, how he really liked me, wanted us to be together, and how he thought he'd never meet another person like me and that relationships with other people were frustrating. Honestly, I was so shocked that I don't even remember clearly what he said. My mind deleted most of it. My brother was crying in front of me in the middle of the mall. What did I do? And he was crying really badly, and they were watching. I didn't know what to do, so I just got up and gave him a really awkward hug. It was one of the most terrible and embarrassing experiences of my life. Then, when he finally stopped crying, he said, "Forget it now. If you kiss me, it'll look like you did it out of pity." And he started laughing. This guy. I asked if he wanted to leave because they were still staring at us, and he said yes. On the way to the parking lot, there was this awkward silence. He apologized and said he needed to tell someone, but that I should forget what had happened because he'd already gotten the message, that it wasn't going to happen, and didn't want to keep insisting on it. Then we went back to his house and played Ludo and listened to music the rest of the night as if nothing had happened. Now it's 2 a.m., and I'm sitting on the toilet because I can't think about what happened. That's me. Who needs to tell anyone this now? I don't know what to think. I've been staring at the floor for a while now. He fell asleep. Later he's going to take me to work, and apparently that's how it's going to be, again. Hit the like button, subscribe and turn on notifications to receive more anonymous stories.